Have you ever looked into someone's eyes while they smiled at you, nodded with approval, maybe even said, "I'm proud of you," but deep down, something didn't feel right? You can't explain it. There's no argument, no betrayal, no obvious reason to feel suspicious. Yet something inside you twists. It's like your soul whispers, they don't really mean it. Their energy feels off. Their applause sounds forced. Their laughter feels scripted. And when you shine, when you rise, you catch that half-second pause before they join in, pretending to clap. That pause, that feeling, it's not your imagination. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the hidden, darker side of human nature. It hides behind friendly smiles, polite compliments, and hollow cheers. But beneath the surface, it brews with envy, resentment, bitterness, and quiet competition. If you ignore that whisper in your gut, if you dismiss the signals, there's a price to pay, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even physically. Because when hatred disguises itself as love, it doesn't stab you from behind. It wraps its arms around you while slowly draining your spirit. In this video, I'm going to reveal 8 unsettling signs that someone close to you may not just dislike you, they may secretly hate you. And most people don't see it until it's too late, until they're used, betrayed, or left broken. But if you stay with me until the end, sign number 8 will flip a switch in your mind and change the way you read people forever. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. And if you find value in this video, give it a thumbs up to help spread this message. I'd love to know your thoughts. If this resonates with you, comment with 1. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback is everything. It helps us create content that genuinely connects with you. Now let's dive in. Number 1, sarcasm and contempt, the poison behind the joke. You're so sensitive. Relax, I was just joking. You've heard it before, maybe too many times. It sounds lighthearted, playful even, but why does it always leave a sting? Let's be honest. Those aren't harmless jokes. They're subtle weapons, daggers dressed up as wit. Because sarcasm, when used with precision and malice, isn't comedy. It's covert cruelty. They know your insecurities, your weight, your background, your past mistakes, and they target them again and again, always with a smirk, always in front of others. The crowd laughs and you're left feeling small, exposed, alone. But if you speak up, if you show the pain, suddenly you're the one overreacting. You're the one ruining the vibe. Don't be dramatic. Can't you take a joke? Let's call it what it really is, emotional manipulation. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." But here's the twist. People who refuse to face their own shadows, their unresolved pain, often project it onto others. They make you the outlet for the discomfort they won't acknowledge in themselves. Their sarcasm isn't a personality trait, it's contempt in disguise. And their laughter? Just camouflage. If their jokes consistently sting, if you feel anxious whenever they start to get funny, if you smile in public but cry alone later, that's not friendship, that's not humor. That's psychological warfare, subtle, sustained, and devastating. They're not joking. They're hurting you, slowly, skillfully, and without ever leaving a bruise. Number 2, subtle sabotage. The knife in the back. Wrapped in concern. Ever had that one friend who just forgot to tell you something important? A missing piece of advice, a key detail, a heads up that could have changed everything? Or the friend whose helpful suggestion somehow made things worse? The one who missed your big moment, again. The one who didn't show up when it mattered because they were busy, again. Once, sure. Life happens. Twice, maybe a coincidence. But 3 times, 4, every time. That's not forgetfulness. That's intentional sabotage in disguise. And the scariest part, They don't stab you when your back is turned. They do it while they're hugging you. Carl Jung once observed that people who feel inferior often seek to pull others down rather than rise themselves. And when someone in your life can't stand to see you grow, they'll do everything they can to keep you small, but gently, quietly, and with a smile. They offer advice that backfires. They accidentally miss your big opportunities. They cheer you on just enough to look supportive, but never enough to push you forward. "I was just trying to help," they'll say. But deep down, they know. They know they're undermining you. And the danger lies in how believable they seem. They look like your support system, but act like a slow, silent storm, eroding your confidence from the shadows. If someone in your life keeps feeding your doubt, missing your milestones, or holding you back under the guise of care, hear this loud and clear. That's not concern. That's control. They don't want to lose you, but only as long as you stay beneath them. Number 3, silent competition, when every win becomes a war. You share your good news, a promotion, a creative breakthrough, a quiet personal win. You expect a smile, maybe a hug, something genuine. But instead you get, "Oh, cool, guess what I just did?" Just like that, your moment is no longer yours. You shine, and they dim the lights. You rise, and they race to rise higher, not to celebrate with you, but to outshine you. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It's in the subtle shift of their tone, the pause before their forced applause, the sudden need to one-up your every step forward. This isn't love. This is ego dressed up as friendship. Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." But rather than reflect inward, these people compete outwardly, because what they see in you, growth, confidence, purpose, is exactly what they've neglected in themselves. So they turn every celebration into a scoreboard, every compliment into quiet comparison, not because they hate your success, but because your light exposes the shadows they refuse to face. You didn't enter a competition, but they did, silently, secretly, and relentlessly. If your joy feels like it triggers silent wars, if every win comes with side eyes, tension, or a backhanded compliment, you're not growing with a friend. You're surviving against a quiet rival. This isn't support. It's psychological sparring, an ego match in disguise. Number 4, superficial kindness, the smile that never touches the soul. You know the type. They smile, but their eyes betray them. They say all the right things. "I'm so proud of you. That's incredible. Wow, I'm so happy for you." But something feels off, because beneath the polished words, your heart senses the truth. The warmth isn't real. Their voice is flat. Their eyes scan the room. Their energy? Hollow. And when you really need them, not for praise but for presence, they're nowhere to be found. This is superficial kindness, the kind that mimics love but never lives it, the kind that performs empathy but never feels it. When kindness becomes a script, genuine people don't just speak love into existence, they show up for it. They feel with you. They cry when your world crumbles. They celebrate your wins like they're their own. They're present heart and soul in both the highs and the heartbreaks. But fake friends, they're like shadows, visible only when the sun is shining. They vanish when things get too real, too raw, too emotional. And even when they're physically there, their spirit is somewhere else, cold, disconnected. Their words may sound sweet, but their energy never matches. It's like hearing a love song sung by a machine. Carl Jung had a name for this: ego dissociation. It happens when someone becomes so emotionally disconnected from themselves that they can no longer connect with others. They're not cruel. They don't necessarily wish you harm. But they've become incapable of genuine connection, of the vulnerability that friendship and love require. They float through life in performance mode, smiling, nodding, saying the expected lines, but never offering the things that truly matter. Presence, empathy, emotional depth, human connection. Ask yourself, when your heart aches, are they there? When your soul shines, do they celebrate you fully or shrink away with muted applause? Because true friendship doesn't clock in when it's convenient. It's not an appearance at your highlight reel. It's a quiet, unwavering presence during the unedited moments. If someone's kindness feels like an automated response, predictable, polite, but emotionally vacant, then what you have isn't a friendship, it's a performance. And no matter how well written the script is, you'll always feel the emptiness beneath their smile. Number 5. Controlling through care, the most dangerous form of manipulation. It never begins with chains or commands. It starts softly, wrapped in concern, draped in sweetness. I'm only doing this because I care. One day, you'll thank me. I just don't want you to get hurt. At first, these words sound comforting, like a warm blanket on a cold night. They carry the tone of love, protection, and wisdom. But somewhere deep within, you feel the quiet sting. Your shoulders subtly tense. Your enthusiasm dims. Your voice grows hesitant when explaining your choices, because what they call care is really control. They don't raise their voice. They don't threaten. Instead, they guide, softly, strategically, like a vine slowly wrapping itself around you or a snake slithering gently, hissing lullabies of safety. You speak a dream into existence. They say it's too risky. You share a vision. They tell you it's not realistic. You make a decision. They question your judgment, making it sound like concern. And here's what makes this manipulation so dangerous. They're not always wrong. Sometimes their advice does make sense. Sometimes their words do sound wise. But instead of lifting you, they subtly shrink you. Instead of empowering you, they tether you. You begin to second-guess your own intuition. Eventually, you stop moving unless they nod. You don't trust yourself without their approval. It's no longer your life. It's their comfort zone. You're not making choices. You're managing their reactions. Carl Jung captured it with precision. People who cannot govern the chaos within themselves seek to dominate others in order to feel safe. They don't feel in control of their own world, so they try to micromanage yours. Their life is in turmoil, but instead of healing, they reach for control because it gives them a false sense of stability. So they mask control as care. They don't demand, they condition. They don't push, they persuade. And they build a quiet cage dressed as a hug. Before you know it, you're thinking, maybe I should ask them first. What if they're right and I mess up? I probably shouldn't do this without their input. But let's pause here. If someone's care consistently leaves you feeling powerless, doubtful, or dependent, is it really care? True support believes in your wings even if they tremble. False concern clamps on chains disguised as protection. Real love says, even if you fall, I'll still believe in you. Fake love says, just do it my way. It's safer. The mask is always the same, concern, love, guidance, but the intent is different. Real love empowers. Controlling love possesses. So if someone in your life always wants to dictate your direction, question your pace, and manage your choices, all under the cloak of just looking out for you, step back. Ask yourself, are they truly protecting me or just protecting their control over me? One frees you, the other imprisons you with a smile. Number 6, gossip and criticism. What they say when you're not around. You step into the room, and suddenly everything changes. The conversation stutters, smiles stiffen, eyes dart. Then, silence. No one says it out loud, but you feel it in your gut. Something has shifted. Something has been said, and not in your presence. This is the venomous art of gossip. It doesn't scream. It whispers, it doesn't confront, it infects. When people lack the courage to face you honestly, they don't step up. They stoop low. They take the coward's detour. They smear your name in places you can't defend yourself. They don't attack your actions. They assassinate your character. They twist your words, question your intentions, make others second-guess your truth. And they do it just subtly enough to leave a trail of doubt, not proof. No raised voices, no public accusations, just calculated slander, camouflaged as concern or just being honest. Then, as if nothing happened, they smile to your face, friendly, casual, wearing the perfect mask. But behind the scenes, they're orchestrating character decay, one word at a time. Why? Why do they do this? Carl Jung once said, "The brighter your light, the darker your shadow appears in the eyes of others." Your very existence unsettles them. Your peace disrupts their chaos. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your confidence is a mirror. They can't bear the reflection. They don't want to rise to your level, so they try to pull you down to theirs. Not through challenge, through chatter. Not through confrontation, through contamination. They choose backdoor warfare, weaponizing whispers. They stab you with words you'll never hear, then hug you like nothing ever happened. But here's the truth that sets you free. Gossip reveals more about them than it ever could about you. It's not your integrity on trial. It's theirs. Whole people don't tear others down to feel tall. Balanced souls don't thrive on secret destruction. Only those at war with themselves project their battles onto others, so the next time you feel the chill in a room, when the energy dips and silence speaks louder than words, don't shrink, don't doubt, don't internalize. Their whispers are not your weight to carry. They are cries for help disguised as critique. Keep walking, keep shining. Because while they talk behind your back, your silence echoes with a strength no rumor can match. That is the sound of class, of character, of clarity. And no gossip, no matter how loud, can touch the power of someone who knows who they are. Number 7. No joy in your success. The emotional absence that speaks louder than words. They were there when you had nothing. When life was crumbling, when your spirit was low, when the world felt too heavy, they stood beside you. They offered comfort, lent an ear, maybe even carried some of your pain. But then, things changed. You started to rise. The pieces of your life began to fit together. You worked tirelessly, quietly planting the seeds of your comeback. And now the harvest is here. You've got news to share. A win, a breakthrough, a new chapter, and what do you get? Silence. A half-hearted cool. A quick subject change. No celebration. No pride in their voice. No joy in their eyes. You send the text, the update, the announcement. They reply, but their energy is hollow. You hear the words, but feel the void. That absence of enthusiasm, that subtle, invisible chill, it cuts deep. Why does it hurt so much? Because these were the people who embraced your struggle, but now they can't embrace your success. When you were down, you were familiar, relatable, non-threatening. Your hardship comforted them, made their own stagnation easier to digest. But now you're becoming someone they can't easily recognize. Your glow exposes their shadow. Your growth reminds them of the time they wasted. Your elevation forces them to look at everything they've refused to face, and that makes your victory feel like a loss. To them, they might still smile. They might still say, "That's great." But their voice won't lift. Their eyes won't light up, and your soul will feel the gap, because the truth always travels beneath the words. Carl Jung once said, "If someone cannot rejoice in your joy, they are battling an internal war." Your success becomes a mirror, and what they see reflected isn't your happiness. It's their regret, their missed opportunities, their dormant potential. So instead of walking with you toward the future, they retreat into their past. Not because you've changed, but because your change reminds them that they didn't. It's painful. It's heartbreaking. To realize that the ones who helped carry you through your storms now disappear in your sunshine. But here's the truth you must remember. Their reaction isn't your responsibility. Your success is not a betrayal. You are not responsible for shrinking to protect someone else's comfort. You deserve to be proud. You deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to rise unapologetically. So don't dim your light to fit into spaces where celebration is conditional. Don't bury your joy to accommodate silent resentment. Keep shining. Keep growing. Keep becoming everything you're meant to be. And trust this, the people who truly love you, they won't flinch when you rise. They won't envy your success. They'll be clapping the loudest because your win will feel like theirs too. Number 8. Body language. The truth they can't hide. Words can lie. Smiles can be rehearsed. Compliments can be crafted like a script. But the body always tells the truth. You walk into a room, and before anyone speaks, you feel it. The shift in energy, the tension in the air. They say all the right things. I'm happy for you. You deserve it. You've come so far. But their tone is flat, their eyes dim, and their posture tells a story their mouth won't. The truth is, when someone secretly envies you, resents you, or feels threatened by your light, their nervous system betrays them. They may try to hide it, but their body leaks signals like a broken faucet. Watch closely. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes. Their body subtly turns away when you speak. Their hugs lack warmth, mechanical, brief, obligatory. They blink faster. Their breath gets shallow. Their shoulders tighten. They clap, just a second too late. These aren't accidents. They're micro-expressions, emotional glitches. Your intuition picks up before your brain can even explain it. Carl Jung once said, "The unconscious always speaks through the body. Even when someone is lying with their words, their body is still confessing." And here's the part no one tells you. Your intuition is ancient, sacred, powerful. Long before language existed, your ancestors survived by sensing the truth in silence, in body language, tone, micro-expressions, and emotional vibrations. That's why when you're around someone who secretly doesn't like you, you feel it. In your stomach, in your chest, in the shift in temperature in the room. It's not paranoia, it's perception. You're hearing friend, but you're feeling threat. That's the glitch. That's the warning. So what do? You don't need to confront them. You don't need to expose them. You don't even need to hate them. You need to protect your peace, because peace is expensive, and you've been handing it to people who never deserved it. You've been trying to win over the ones who clap with cold hands and cheer with a bitter heart. It's time to set boundaries without guilt. Stop over-explaining to people who've already decided not to understand you. Withdraw your light from those who only return shadows. Accept that not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Some people sit beside you just to study your next move. They won't stab you with knives, they'll stab you with fake smiles, delayed claps, and quiet resentment. They don't wish you well, they wish you small. So today, you have a choice. Keep shrinking yourself to keep them comfortable, or finally choose you, your joy, your energy, your emotional freedom, because self-love starts where fake love ends. If this message hit you in the chest, if it gave words to something you've been silently feeling, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Drop a comment. What sign exposed the most truth for you? Hit subscribe, because this journey of self-awareness is just beginning. We're going deeper, darker, more real than ever, in a world full of masks. This is your mirror. Welcome to the start of a new you.